McLaren P1 GTR. The first car in today's video is valued at an incredible price of about $3.4 million. But you shouldn't be so surprised, there are cars that cost even more. The McLaren P1 GTR concept was first introduced in August 2014. The final version was presented in Geneva in March 2015. The car boasts an output of 1,000 horsepower, provided by a 3.8-litre V8 engine, as well as an electric motor hidden in the left block. The designers worked tirelessly to give the car an aggressive look. The manufacturer released only a small series of McLaren P1 GTRs, about 45 units. First of all, it is a racetrack car. Therefore, it could only be purchased by people who had already bought the road version of the P1. Taking this into account, the actual price on the McLaren P1 GTR is even more than $3.4 million. However, this price includes consulting with specialists about driving, training on the McLaren Racing Simulator, as well as participating in 6 international racing competitions. The Lamborghini Veneno. A limited edition of this car was released in 2013. There are only 5 copies of the Lamborghini Veneno in the world. Only 3 of them were put up for sale as well. It's noteworthy that despite the price, about $4 million, all 3 cars were sold before release. The car received its name in honor of the aggressive fighting bull Veneno, who, in 1914 during a bullfight in Spain, took the life of Toreador Jose Sanchez Rodriguez. The car was designed for the 50th anniversary of the company too. At that moment, it was the most expensive car in the world. The body of the Lamborghini Veneno is made of carbon fiber, and you've probably already noticed a large number of air collectors, which give the Veneno an even more unique look. The basis for this exclusive car was the Lamborghini Aventador, which had to lose about 125 kilograms to become the Lamborghini Veneno. The car is equipped with a 6.5-litre V12 engine. The developers have optimized the exhaust system too, improved aerodynamics, and managed to achieve 750 horsepower. The top speed is 355 kilometers per hour. The Bugatti Divo. It's hard to understand why someone would buy a car that costs the same as a few houses or apartments. It's even more difficult to understand what a car must be made of to cost as much as $5.5 million. But there's nothing to understand apparently. It's enough to know that it's just exclusive, because not everyone can spend that much money on a car. So, the Bugatti Divo was first presented at the end of the Monterey Car Week in 2018. The car is powered by a 4-turbine 8-litre W16 engine. Its output is 1,500 horsepower, and the torque is 1,600 Newton meters. As a matter of fact, this car is an evolution of the famous Bugatti Chiron. The hypercar has been repeatedly modified. For example, it has 90 kilograms more downforce at high speeds. Also, engineers have improved the suspension bracket and have increased the camber. The result is a car that runs 8 seconds faster than the Chiron, and 3 seconds faster than the Chiron Sport. The maximum speed that can be achieved is 380 kilometers per hour. A total of 40 vehicles were produced. This explains why it's so cheap. And now you'll see that a unique car can cost much more. The Maybach Excelero. And although this car was released back in 2005, we had to include it in our list of the most expensive cars. That's because its owner paid the incredible $8 million for it. The Maybach Excelero was developed in cooperation with the tire manufacturer Folder. It's based on the Maybach 57 limousine. The manufacturer worked pretty hard on the design of the car, both inside and out. The list of materials that were used for interior decoration includes natural leather, neoprene, aluminium, and polished carbon fiber. The designers intentionally added aggressive lines to give the car a terrifying look. The car is designed for 2 people. It has a 6-litre V12 engine with 700 horsepower under the hood. The Maybach Accelero accelerates from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 4.4 seconds. Its maximum speed is 351 km per hour. The Rolls-Royce Swept Tail. And here's another car that also exists in a single copy. It was shown in 2017 at the Concorso d'Eleganza Villa d'Este. The Rolls-Royce Swept Tail was produced for a client who wanted a car that would look like a racing yacht, and at the same time like a Rolls-Royce from the 20s or 30s. The information about the customer is kept confidential. It's only known that the owner likes to collect expensive cars and yachts, and he paid $13 million for the exclusive vehicle. The design of the Rolls-Royce Swept Tail has unique features that make the car stand out. First of all, pay attention to the front panel in the passenger compartment. It almost doesn't have buttons or handles. The central console has a cooling compartment to store champagne, as well as glasses. Between the air vents there's an analog clock. It's made of ebony and the hands are cast in titanium. Inside, the salon is also finished with wood, ebony and paldao. The seats of course are made of leather and the roof is made of glass. Despite the fact that the body of this car seems to be a little longer, the wheelbase here is exactly the same as that of the Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe. Under the hood, there's a 459 horsepower V12 engine with 720 Nm of torque. Bugatti La Voiture Noire. Every year, car enthusiasts from all over the world wait eagerly for the Geneva International Motor Show. This year, Bugatti participated in this event to prove once again that it can surprise anyone. This spring, they showed their latest creation, the Bugatti La Voiture Noire. The price of this car is $18 million. The only problem is that even with this kind of money, it's no longer possible to buy this car. The Bugatti La Voiture Noire was produced in a single copy and sold immediately. The name of the buyer remains anonymous, and the head of the company just said that the car now belongs to a passionate Bugatti fan. But let's talk about the car itself. The Bugatti 57SC Atlantic was the inspiration for this new car. It was the personal car of Jean Bugatti, the son of the owner of the company, as well as a talented designer. During the Second World War, this car disappeared without a trace. By the way, it was also known as La Voiture Noire, which translates from French as black car. Not surprisingly, the car shown in Geneva is also painted black. The Bugatti La Voiture Noire was released to celebrate the 110th anniversary of the Bugatti company and the 110th birthday of Jean Bugatti. This car produces 1500 horsepower from a quad-turbo 8-litre W16 engine. The torque is 1600 Nm. The car is also equipped with 6 exhaust pipes.
About to go for the first spin in the gun put. Was not expecting this morning. Also, got ourselves a 4-point harness here, which adds to the drama like tenfold. Morning from my last day in Hong Kong. It's been absolutely incredible so far, but I think today is about to top it off. Last night I received a very special message on Instagram from a guy who evidently has a very incredible car collection here in Hong Kong. And this morning we're up bright and early, 7 o'clock, to join this man to see his beautiful collection and hopefully get some drives in a Gumpert Apollo.
Yeah.
Singing the song, I see I was wrong. To tame you down, I was a clown. I'm singing the song, I see I was wrong. To tame you down, I was a clown. I know now when you're all alone. I've had the time to run out. I've played for the touch of your hand. Your love is so, so grand. Oh, baby.
Alright, I've made it down to the Apollos, and once again it's also been organised by Supercars of Hong Kong. And this is Addy.
Hello.
The man responsible for that fantastic account. Dude, thank you so much for everything so
My
far.
pleasure.
It's been amazing,
I'm happy
man.
for you to
Thank
join
thank
me.
you. We've only been here a few days and you've just made it really special, so thanks a lot.
Thank you.
But tell us a little bit about what's happening right now.
As you see, we got
Yeah, man.
not one, two Gumperts. As if one's not enough,
Yeah.
double
Two.
the fun.
Yeah. And the one at the back's pretty special because it's an N.
It's an N,
Apollo
and it's a one of one, the
Yeah.
only one, happily in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
So
and so from what I've seen, aesthetically it's fairly similar, but they've upgraded the interior to a digital dashboard.
They have,
which
they have.
looks immense. Such a small tweak has made such a big
I know.
difference.
huge difference.
And I think we're gonna get the opportunity to go for a spin in one.
Spin.
Let's hit it, man.
Let's do this.
About to go for the first spin in the Gumpert. Was not expecting this morning. Also, we got ourselves a 4-point harness here, which adds to the drama like tenfold. All right.
Hey guys.
I'm with Norman. This is the fine gentleman that has invited me down to experience the Gumpert. And there's also something significant about this man in that you bought the whole Gumpert program.
That's correct. Yeah. We actually bought the car first.
Okay.
And then, back in 2012.
Yeah.
Without actually seeing the car because we read about its record run and Nürburgring,
Yeah.
Top Gear track, and so forth. And then when it came 2014, we understand the company was in liquidation.
Okay.
A friend of us told. And then what happened was next thing, okay. Are we able to take it up? Okay,
Yeah.
we did. So,
Great.
so that's what we did. We bought the company,
Yeah.
bought a new factory,
Okay.
and then hired the best of engineers that there are in Germany
Yes.
and now in Italy to reproduce the car.
So the car's now being built in Italy.
Right. Actually, we have two factories. One
Okay.
in Germany and one in Italy.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So last Geneva, I saw the launch of the Apollo Arrow.
Yes.
So that was your guys' work
Yes, that's out of Germany. That's where-
out of Germany.
Yep.
And you might be giving us a little insight into something special that's coming later on in the year.
That's right. As some of you may have read from the
Yeah.
magazines, we have now teamed up with an Italian company.
Yeah.
So the car is going to be even more radical from the one that you saw in Geneva.
Even more radical than that.
Absolutely.
Because the last Geneva, the Arrow was one of the best looking cars there. It looked fantastic. And you're taking it further than that.
It's completely epic. The new car, it's 90% different.
Different.
From the different.
I can't wait to see that, man. It's good.
And I'll show you a preview of that prior to the actual release.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
So we're targeting to release that car at Goodwood.
Wow,
Yep.
okay.
You're gonna hear and see about it.
Fantastic.
And it's gonna storm the
Can't
industry.
wait, man.
Yep. You're gonna love it.
All right.
Let's go for a ride, shall we?
Let's hit it. So, wow. So one of the main differences between this and the N
Yeah.
is that the dashboard sounds a subtle upgrade, but it makes such a big difference having the digital dash.
It is, back then, the founder, Roland Gumpert, he was an engineer, so he didn't really care about a lot of things aesthetics-wise.
Yes.
So we improved it quite a bit, in terms of outlook. And then what we did was we also changed the clamshell. Now
Yeah.
we're equipping with the new, latest G3 wings for better aerodynamics.
basically we are sat in a carbon tub.
That's right.
It's actually really comfortable. It's nice.
Well, the thing is, you have a pretty good physique. That explains a lot.
But it's, you know, it's not bad. I'm not thinking I need to move anything. It's sort of, its fundamental driving position's quite nice.
It is, absolutely. It really has that emotion
Yeah.
when you drive the car. You feel you're so close to the ground that you can feel every
Yeah.
that the road dictates.
But what's really nice about sitting into a tub is just it's such a sense of occasion, even before you started it.
Yeah.
Putting on the harness, feeling that you're sat in carbon is such a great experience.
It's a whole experience.
Yeah.
That counts, yeah. It's really, really cool. I mean, aesthetic wise, it's just not so good, but driving wise,
It's pure, right?
It's absolutely pure. I mean, there's no fancy technology like the hybrid, electric stuff.
It's just engine, chassis,
It's just you in the car.
which these days is quite rare.
Very rare. A lot of driving aid, which sometimes you don't know what to think about.
Crazy, isn't it? So, I just hopped out of the Apollo S, and now we're in the one of one Apollo N. And this is Bailey. And Bailey's very kindly taken me out in this car. And this is the one that we were talking about earlier, where they made the upgrades to the digital dash. Such
digital dash.
a big step forward compared with the old one.
race mode.
Oh, man, that's so cool. So tell me a little bit more about this car and what's different over the S.
We launched this car in the last Geneva Auto Show. Together we see the new Aero. So this is basically the successor of the Apollo S. So Apollo S was officially crowned as the fastest car on the Nürburgring, and as well as the top tier track.
Wow.
Then so this is the N4 Nürburgring special version.
Okay, cool.
That we try to make the difference.
So it's
And,
N for
upgrade.
Nürburgring. So you've done digital dash upgrade, more downforce.
Right, absolutely. So
the
more
rear?
downforce to this car, and
the
actually
wing is
more
huge.
horsepower to this car as well.
More horsepower. So
Yeah.
how many horsepower is this one?
So this car can pump up to close to be 900 horsepower.
Wow.
Yeah, and
The S was crazy, but this is more.
Much more. And this is 950 Newton meter of torque.
950 newton meters.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, quite a fast machine.
Fantastic.
We have a new gearbox, a new transmission to this car.
Yes.
So it differs from the Apollo S.
Okay.
So this gearbox, the 7-gear sequential.
Okay.
But it was used for the Koenigsegg gearbox. That's why the
Fabulous.
first gear is very long.
That's so cool, man.
Smoking, I smoke, I'm shooting my coat. I'm drinking, I drink, I'm in down the break. But nothing drives the thoughts in my mind. We fought and fought, but I was so blind. When you're not here, I'm just a shell. Have you condemned me to this kind of hell? What are you really trying to do? Is this all just about you, baby?
So last week, before I came here, I put out a message on Instagram saying that I'm going to Hong Kong. Anyone want to meet up or recommend anywhere I can go? So many people said here. So they were like, if you can go to this car park, try your best to go to this. So here we are.
Wow, okay. Yeah, this is the modified by Writer.
That looks really good.
Okay.
I have another gumpert here.
Yeah.
2 gumperts. So I'm seeing 4 gumperts in a day here. Just hopped out of the crazy Apollo N. Not 2, but 4 Apollos spotted this morning. Had the privilege and honor of being able to passenger in 2 of them. But now we've been taken down to this underground car park. Now, guys who watch my channel regularly will know that I typically don't come from a car spotting background. But when the content of the car park looks like this, I gotta share it with you. Find myself in practically brand spanking new Scuderia 16M, which I believe has only 800 kilometers on the clock. The guy who's just bought this hasn't even driven it yet, and he said I can get in and start it up, because this, for me, is one of my favorite sounding stock Ferraris of all time. Those of you who have watched previous videos will know that I used to own a Scuderia which didn't end too well. So yeah, it's cool to be back behind the wheel of this. I'm not going to drive it anyway, I just start it up and appreciate its beauty. Look at that. 801 kilometers as well. Such small mileage. It's very cool. How cool is this? Literally met this guy last night and he's like, jump in the 16M. This place is amazing. So here we are. Beautiful 800 kilometer 16M. This is the Speciale that you watched on the video last night. This thing's maybe one all over again. It sounds so good, and straight through Novitec exhaust as well. It sounds absolutely phenomenal. Actually, me and this guy have really similar tastes. RS6 and a 675 LT. To evening time. Saturated myself in cars and in the last few days. Change your clothes, we're gonna hit the town, go on a boat. I finally made my way onto an authentic Chinese junk boat. This thing is so cool, it's like something straight out of the movies. The one thing that I've been captivated by since the whole time I've been here is how amazing this city is at night time. It seems to come alive. It has its own energy and a totally different buzz and a vibe that I really wanted to share with you, and I thought the best place to do it is get between both sides of the bay and show you what this amazing city is like at its full potential. As always guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Ciao.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. I review cars on YouTube, also have Stangosaurus right behind me here, but today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do, because I was thinking the other day, got news that my press passes for the New York Auto Show coming next month have been sent in the mail, and of course at the New York Auto Show, there's always new cars coming out that everybody is seeing for the first time, but also very, very expensive cars as well. So it got me thinking, what are the top 10 most expensive cars out there right now in the world? So that is what this video is going to be. So let's hop back in Stangosaurus and let's get started. All right, so let me start by mentioning this list is going to be production cars sold to the public, even if it's a limited production, but I'm not going to quote prices found at auction like the new Supra selling for $2 million or anything like that. But so starting with number 10 on my list, the 2019 Pagani Huayra. And so this number 10 car actually sells for $2.6 million. Powering the beast is a 6-liter turbocharged V12, putting out 764 horsepower, 738 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 capable in 2.8 seconds, with a top speed of 238 miles per hour. But perhaps my favorite part on this Pagani is the interior, or perhaps the gauges. The whole interior is so unique compared to all other cars out there right now, so gotta appreciate that. Then coming in at number 9 on my list, the 2015 Ferrari Sergio Roadster. And so this one was selling for $3 million when it was produced, and it did have a limited production of only 6 available to the public. So I'm thinking if you were probably one of those 6, you could probably turn around and sell that for quite a bit of money right now. But powering this one is going to be a 4.5-liter naturally aspirated V8, putting out 605 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 63 seconds flat with a top speed of 198 miles per hour. Number Number 8 on my list, a car that has not quite yet come out yet at the time of this video, but is currently taking orders, the 2019 Aston Martin Valkyrie. This one is selling for $3.2 million, powered by a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12, putting out 1,160 horsepower, 664 pound-feet of torque. By the way, one of the most unique things about this one, the red line. It redlines at 11,100 RPM. That's ridiculous. And I thought the Honda S2000 at 9,000 RPM was pretty decent. I think the Aston Martin is going to take this one 0 to 60 2.5 seconds with a top speed of only 250 miles per hour. That is a ridiculous car. Moving on to number 7 on my list, the 2013 Bugatti Veyron Vivier by Masonry. And Masonry is a German tuning company, but this one was being sold for $3.4 million, powered by an 8-liter quad turbocharged W16, never get tired of saying that, 1,001 horsepower, 880 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 2.7 with a top speed of 252 miles per hour. But perhaps the best part, in my opinion, there is carbon fiber absolutely everywhere in this Bugatti, definitely contributing to that 0 to 60 time, shedding some weight off of this one. Then moving on to number 6 on my list, the 2013 to 2016 W Motors Lycan Hypersport. For those of you curious, as I was when W Motors first came out, this is a United Arab Emirates based company, and this car was also recently found in one of the Fast and Furious movies, but this one sells for $3.4 million, powered by a 3.7 liter twin turbocharged flat 6, putting out 780 horsepower, 708 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 2.8 seconds with a top speed of 245 miles per hour, with insane styling that looks absolutely like nothing else on the road, almost like a Batmobile, if you will. So quite an insane car coming in at number 6, which moves us on to number 5. Number 5 on my list being the 2016-2017 McLaren P1 LM. And I specify that because this one had a limited production number, once again, of 6. Only 6 ever produced. LM, by the way, meaning Lezante Motorsport, another tuning company. However, this one sold for $3.6 million, powered by a 3.8-liter twin turbocharged V8, 986 horsepower, 770 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 comes in 2.4 seconds. That's crazy. 214 mile per hour top speed on that one. Then moving on to number 4, being the 2013-2014 Lamborghini Veneno. And so this particular Lamborghini, when it was produced, sold for $4.5 million. And this particular car was actually produced to celebrate Lamborghini's 50th anniversary. Powering this one is a 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12, 740 horsepower, 509 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 2.8 with a top speed of 221 miles per hour. Number 3 on my list being the 2006 to 2010 Koenigsegg CCXR Cervita. This one's selling for $4.8 million. That's quite a bit of money. Part of the reason being is there was only 2 cars ever produced. And this Koenigsegg was specifically known for its diamond pattern carbon fiber weave. Powering the beast is a 4.7 liter twin supercharged, don't see that too often, V8, putting out 806 horsepower, 679 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 2.9 with a top speed of 249 miles per hour. Moving on to number 2 on my list, the 2005 Maybach Excelero. Interesting thing about this car is there was only one that Maybach ever produced. It is a one-of-one car, and it sold for $8 million. Powering my number 2 car is a 5.9 liter twin turbocharged V12, putting out 690 horsepower, 752 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 4.4 seconds, top speed 218 miles per hour, and rumor has it, since this is a one-of-one car, who is the owner? I was curious though, so I did a little research. Rumor has it that this one-of-one car actually belongs to the rapper named Birdman, or otherwise known as Brian Williams. So well done, Birdman, for snagging this one. And then lastly on my list of top 10, the most expensive car ever manufactured by a car company is the 2018 Rolls-Royce Sweptail. And this is roughly based off the Phantom Coupe, and the back end of this one actually looks strikingly similar to a yacht. But so then the question everybody wants to know, this one sold for $13 million, powered by a 6.75-liter twin-turbo W12, 453 horsepower, 531 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 time comes in at 5.6 seconds, top speed of 150 miles per hour. But all those numbers may not seem all that exciting compared to all the cars I just went over, but this one is more so known for its luxury rather than its engine or the acceleration, although it'll definitely still get up and go without a doubt. But just to elaborate on some of the high-end finishes found on this one, in the back, that 08 design that you're looking at there, that was actually milled of aluminum before being hand polished and put on the back. Typically those emblems are made of plastic on just about every manufacturer out there, but typically not milled from ingots of aluminum and then hand polished to finish it off. Also in the back, this Rolls-Royce has a custom wood cabinet in the rear with a mid-shelf that's illuminated with a glass lip. That's definitely very unique. And to finish it off, there are wood trims absolutely everywhere, but not just any wood trims, the most rare wood that one can find put in this Rolls-Royce, including an open pore Paldeo wood veneer trim, and that is the most expensive car in the world. So that is about it for this video, you guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Switching it up a little bit on the channel, but it's always fun. But anyways, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay go!
Yeah.